I have so much pride. I'm really proud of what you've done and what you've created. It's remarkable. You are a remarkable person. You really create things that the everyday average Joe does not. Do you understand why he would be saying that? Okay, remember how I said earlier that there's like a father, there's like a split thing? Are your parents divorced?
Yes.
Okay. Are you very distant from your dad?
No.
Okay. Is he passed?
Yes.
I knew it. I knew this is what's happening here. Remember, I just kept saying there's this father figure here. I'm
I was
like,
like, I hope we get back to that.
well, I can clearly see my symbol for divorce.
Yep.
That's the first thing he wants to bring through. I think there's parental friction in your family, but I
Yep.
almost feel like it's with your mom. Do you understand?
Yes.
Because I'm like, wait, you got a different relationship with each of your parents, but as he starts to show me this, I'm like, oh, I love him. That's you. Because I think that you two had a special way of connecting
Yep.
with each other. And I think that you two were much more similar than you and your mom.
Yeah.
It's like your dad always understood you better. And he says one of the things that's really hard is that now that he's gone, you feel like you have to deal with this other relationship on your own. And I
Yep.
feel like he was a support and a backup for you in a certain way that made it a lot easier to handle because she is a tough cookie. Your mom has a lot of emotional baggage. Do you understand that piece?
Yep.
Unhappy person makes me feel
Yep.
really unhappy in life. And the thing is, she has a completely different philosophy about life than you do. I think that you're somebody who strives as much as possible to look at the bright side of things, to be positive, to find joy in life. It doesn't mean you don't go through shit, clearly,
Yep.
but you truly believe that that's a path for you to live a happier life. And it's not that you haven't tried to forgive her, but it doesn't feel like there's any room from your perspective. There's no room to work with what she's giving you. You don't have much wiggle room or space, is what your dad tells me. Ooh, it feels like grudges. You know what I mean? Like holds
Yep.
grudges
Yep.
and does not forget stuff that she doesn't like. Your mom
Correct.
feels like she is a victim of life a lot of the time. And
Correct.
and the people around her are the people who constantly make her feel like victims in her mind. So she's like, you wronged me this way, he wronged me that way. There's so much acknowledgement he wants to give you for the trials and tribulations that you go through with mom. He said she was devastated when he passed, but I don't think that she would have shown it because she was so angry about a bunch of stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep.
But it like
Yep.
very much something about it like broke her heart, made her really sad. And you know what's really interesting? You and your friend have some similarities with moms. It's like this is something that you two probably could have bonded over. I don't know if you did, but the fact
We
is
did it.
both of your moms were really hard in certain ways.
Yeah.
And both of them had certain ideas of how things would be and not a lot of patience. Strong feelings about all kinds of stuff and not a lot of space for people to be themselves, right? So as I like bring it through, I'm like, oh, there are a lot of similarities between both of your parents. But your dad just gives acknowledgement. But also he says you're a tough cookie, like he's proud of you because I don't think that you let this in any way, shape, or form destroy your life. It's not that it's not a hardship for you, but you
Yeah.
will go and get support and you will do whatever you can to fix the situation. And huge acknowledgement for you. He's like, the last thing I would want is for this to get in the way of your happiness and also your growth as a human. And you're not having it get in the way. Now, it's something that you have to deal with on a regular basis, but it also makes me feel like you have pretty strong boundaries. So I don't know, you're just like, I'm not doing that. I'm not putting myself in harm's way. I don't want to put myself in a toxic thing. So if anything, he's like, she's got a harsh side to her. I'm just saying exactly how it is, where it's like, he says harsh, cold, and this is not a judgment or necessarily a bad thing. He's just saying like when you feel that you have to protect yourself from the situation, you will do it and you will do it
Yep.
quickly. You don't sit around and hem and haw at all. There's a lot of people in relationships like this who are just kind of like going back and trying to be that daughter and trying to be that person where you're the opposite, where you're just like, fuck you if you don't like the way I'm doing this, like I'm done,
Yeah.
you know?
Yep.
And in a lot of ways, there's a lot of pride in your ability to take care of self. Okay. But he also says there is a piece of you that when you're ready, there is forgiveness to give to her, and it's really, really hard to do that for someone like her right now because she doesn't apologize, and I don't actually think that she is in full awareness of how she affects other people. She just is herself and explodes, however she feels about stuff, and then everyone else is kinda left in the wake, and it just
True.
doesn't feel like there's a lot of responsibility taken. Do you understand that? It's really hard to find forgiveness for someone when it feels like they are a constant offender. And if you were to spend more time with her, she would be a constant offender. This is the
Yeah.
problem. How do you find it in yourself to forgive someone like that? And what does that look like while still protecting yourself and your boundaries? And he makes me feel like it's a very thin line, but forgiveness, more forgiveness for her because I forgive her. And that's why you have to know I completely forgive her is that
Okay.
it's just about taking some of that weight off your shoulders because you move fast. You are a fast mover in life, aren't you? You just
Yeah.
march through every day. You get more shit done in one day or week than most people probably do in like a month. That's who
Yeah.
you are. And so he's just like, she just goes and goes and goes. And it's not that she doesn't know how to slow down. It's not that she doesn't do R&R or self-care or those things. But there's this one aspect where he's just like showing me like this weight on your shoulders. And it's deep, deep down because you don't have the time for it in your day. And it's just like, it's not that you haven't done work on this either, because he starts to make me feel like I think you've seen a therapist about your mom, if you understand that piece,
Yeah.
but that's a good applause thing too for getting the help where you need it. But there's this piece of it's been serving you very well to have a strong boundary with someone that you need to have a strong boundary with, and then starting to bring in an even deeper forgiveness piece so your shoulders are lighter and so that you don't have to carry that burden. It's not an overnight thing, and it's not that you haven't already been doing that work. So I have to give a big acknowledgement so that you're not sitting here feeling like, do you know how much work I've been doing? Because I know that you have. But he's basically encouraging you to continue that journey, to know that it's not over yet.
Okay.
And you don't have any kind of hope in your mind that she's ever going to change, I don't think.
No,
It's
no.
like, this is the way it's always gonna be. That
Yeah.
may very well be true, but you are someone who constantly changes.
Yeah.
You're constantly changing, and so you can continue to go to this place where it feels lighter and lighter and lighter for you, and that's possible, and wouldn't that be nice, is what he says.
Yeah.
So it's just encouraging you on that front. I have so much pride. I'm really proud of what you've done and what you've created. It's remarkable. You are a remarkable person. You really create things that the everyday average Joe does not. Do you understand why he would be saying that? You take things to like this next level. Also details. Are you a detail-oriented person? It's like you cross the T's, dot the I's, never miss a
Yep.
thing.
Yeah.
He makes me feel like he appreciates that about you. He always appreciated that about you. Your dad makes me feel like he would have passed from a disease of the body that would have been
Yep.
really painful. Do you understand that? And it
Yep.
would have been really painful for you to witness that piece. So I have to say to you, I'm sorry that you had to see that. You're the kind of daughter that never made me worry that much. Not about being able to get shit done.
Yeah.
And sometimes I worried you were too smart for your own good, but you just made me proud. You still do. I just keep feeling all these things around like upper stomach, chest.
Yeah.
Okay. It's like right from upper stomach to chest is like all this. I feel all
Yep.
the weight and like I feel clogged or something. I don't know what this.
Yes.
Okay. You've always done a really good job of trusting yourself. That's like you make decisions from that place. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of encouragement just to keep doing that right now. And it makes
Okay.
me feel like that's on a professional basis as well. They make me feel like you're starting to, I don't know if rethink is the right word, reimagine, revision, rethink something professionally, reconfigure something professionally. You really don't need to worry about it. You just need to keep trusting and put one step in front of the other. Do you understand why they would talk about reconfiguring, whatever?
Yep.
Just
Yep.
make me feel
100%.
like she's revisioning right now.
Yeah.
She's been doing her thing for a while and she's starting to revision. She's starting to think, almost makes me feel like, I don't know if it's pulling away or if it's thinking bigger, but it's
Yeah.
definitely like a new vision for whatever you've already been doing.
Yeah.
And you just trust yourself the same way you always have because it's always worked. So this is a
Yeah.
mechanism that works for you. It's just going to keep working. You know that, but there have been times lately where you're just kind of like, I just don't have the answer right now. That's okay. Both of these men send like Crazy amounts of love to you. Oh, but you have a picture of your dad, just your dad. It's just him. This would be in a frame. Do you understand this picture being in a frame of him that you keep around your house?
Yeah.
He wasn't perfect all the time, but this is what they always say to me. When you look at that, I'm looking right back at you. I'm right here. It's just a different dimension.
Oh,
Okay, I'm gonna leave you with their love. All right.
thank you.
You're welcome.
It all made sense.
Okay, good.
I think I was anticipating my dad coming through right away. So then right away when you had my friend, I was not even expecting him to come through. I don't know why, just because I've been trying to connect with my dad. He passed in 2020. And
Mm,
so, oh my gosh, but like spot on with all of that. Him and I went to high school together. I was one of the first people he came out to. And then we just stayed in touch throughout college. And so then his memorial was amazing. I flew from Colorado to Minnesota, and he had like all the different groups. Like you just could see how loved he was. But he was on like baseball team, he was a teacher, he worked for Trader Joe's, he was a drag queen. So you had like this, and then us high school friends who, most of us still friends now. And so we had like all these like multi-dimensional groups. And then I brought with old pictures. And so one of those pictures is like him and I on a camera. So the picture he's talking about is you would take selfies on those disposable cameras.
oh my God.
And so we've got like this goofy photo that like I at some time uploaded to Facebook too, back in the day, but it wasn't a digital photo. So that's the photo he's talking about. Pride flag, 100%. And even that photo of him at his memorial, it was a professional photo of him. He was a special ed teacher. So I think it was from his yearbook or like what they take at school, but he had a button with his pronouns in the photo. And I was like so proud of his family for putting that as like the photo in the paper and then obituary and stuff, because it was like a really subtle way to still really honor him. So yeah, all of that. I mean, everything with my mom and my dad, and that was just so cool.
Well, I'm so glad. I hope it was
Yeah, you're amazing. You really are.